Grace and peace as we continue on our journey of UCC voices and history, looking at our denomination and who we are, those events and people who have shaped us. So, throughout all of our denomination, whether this is the Congregationalists or the Christians, the Evangelicals, the Reforms, or any combination therein, um, we have this very clear religious voice, but that voice also found its intersection in the political sphere. And we weren't trying to dictate or say that our particular brand of faith was the right one. It's what everybody should be believing and following, but rather just that faith itself, however it is you're having this faith, it shapes who you are, who we are, how we think. It forms our ethical being, and that's truly important. The names of these folks you may know. So, Reinhold and Richard Niebuhr, maybe even Hulda Niebuhr. So, the Niebuhr brothers, if you know Elmhurst, uh, which is here in Chicago. Certainly, they both studied there. I know of Richard Niebuhr because of Eden Seminary, but I also know Reinhold Niebuhr because he was called and then later voted one of the most influential theologians of the 20th century. So his writings, very, very well known, but what most folks know, if not his name, would be the prayer, right? The prayer that we call the Serenity Prayer. And we know the first part of it, right? God grant me the serenity to accept the things that cannot be changed and the courage to change the things I can. Um, the latter part, not everybody knows, right? Living one day at a time, accepting one moment at a time, accepting hardship as a pathway to peace, taking as Jesus did this sinful world as it is, not as I would have it, trusting that you will make all things right if I surrender to your will, so that I can be reasonably happy in this life and supremely happy with you in the next. So, that prayer alone, while his name might not be a household name, the writings, the work, the thinking, and just the influence that these men had on society, very, very powerful. And not following in their footsteps, but along their lines, because that firm belief was that you should have a newspaper in one hand and a Bible in the other. There's a man you may know, Bill Moyer, also UCC. So while he studied to be a Baptist preacher, he found his way into our denomination, and he's been with us for a very long time. So he was a press secretary, of course, for Lyndon Johnson, but he's been a journalist for just a few years, right? He's part of the UCC, and it's that intersection of faith that he doesn't really talk about, but politics, which he does, and how being an ethical being finds a voice in society and what these things mean when they're spoken together, when they dance together. All of these folks, part of our denomination, because what we believe, how we believe it, and how we articulate it is important in the world. I don't often espouse bumper sticker faith, but that bumper sticker that says, for God's sake, do something. It's what our denomination has been about, all aspects of it, ever since the beginning. For God's sake, We do something because we believe in someone. May you have a blessed day.